It's your boy Mike, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra video. So when I started this game, there was a lot of things that I had to learn, and there's just things that Gekishin Squadra just straight up doesn't tell you. So I thought I would go ahead and compile a lot of the tips that I wish that I knew when I first started this game, because there just is stuff that is just so vague, and Gekishin Squadra themselves just don't even tell you the numbers sometimes. Like if we go ahead and go into the game guide, for example, and we go ahead and check Vanishing step, all it tells us is that there's a cooldown. It doesn't even tell us what the cooldown is, and that's actually going to be our first tip. So our first tip is actually about the Vanishing step. One, the Vanishing step cooldown is actually 8 seconds long. So if we go ahead and wait for it to say a minute of the in-game timer for a second, we can go ahead and see that it'll come back exactly at the 8-second mark. 6, 7, 8. See? And the other thing is that this actually does not get reduced at all, no matter what you have, whether it be level ups, whether it be transformations. It just doesn't change anything at all. We can just go ahead and wait for it to say 30, and we'll use the Vanishing step again, and again, just nothing will change. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then Vanishing is up. So yep, Vanishing is on an 8-second cooldown, and no matter how many times you level up or if you transform or anything like that, the cooldown will always be 8 seconds long. Something else Squadra doesn't really tell you about is that not only does the God of Destruction give you speed boost for going under them, but respawn points do as well. So for example, if we need to go ahead and start rotating bottom for Nappa, but we want to, try to make it there as fast as possible, well, you would think the best course of action would just be, taking the fastest route. But if we're, let's say, farming this mob real quick to get to level 8, we can just go do something like that, right? Vanish into the tower, get the max speed boost, and start rotating downwards. Even in a defensive position like this, we can still zip around and try to move defensively again to dodge whatever might be coming our way while still protecting tower. So because of that, you always want to try and get the speed boost during these scenarios, right? Or again, let's say that like Rebran or Draco starts spawning middle and we just got this minion, for example, right? We can just go ahead and dash or vanish into it. We were just talking about how the vanish restoration time is 8 seconds, and if we were going around the side path here, we would have made it to the bottom before vanish comes in. But either way, I would still try and remember that yes, just going under the tower gives you the speed boost, and we can go ahead and just get all the way back to the respawn. But yeah, you might have noticed that once you do leave respawn that you do get the max speed boost as well. This is just because they want you to be able to get out of the starting position as fast as possible, but going back into it just gives you the speed boost as well. The next tip I would give is to not hold on to transformations for so long. There are times we'll be in games where people will be level 8, level 9, sometimes we've even seen level 10 in some of the videos that I've recorded, and it's like, stop. You are holding back so much of your stats. Like, let me just give you guys an example, right? Remember, this is just from one ally being alive, and the Spirit Bomb does more damage the more allies are alive. So we're getting 1 out of 3 buffs right now. But if we just go ahead and use the Spirit Bomb with Kaioken on the test dummy, it does 5,000 and then 2,000 damage, or like 5,800, 2,700, right? But let's go ahead and use World King. And we need to like walk out of it and then walk back in because the World King is buggy in training mode. But we'll use it again, right? 7,500 and then 3,500, I think it was. Let's go ahead and just transform for a second. Remember, all of our stats get increased and everything of that sort. Let's do that again. 7,500. So from you not using transformation, you are taking an entire World King buff out of all of your stats. And that's not even giving yourself the buff of World King after transforming. So again, if we're someone who needs to start just boss securing, we now do 9,800 damage from the World King and Super Saiyan buff. Every single bit of damage matters, but we're talking about, like, what is that? I think we said 5,000 to 7,000 damage, and then 7,000 to 9,000 damage with World King. So it's like 25% in that ballpark of damage that you're just missing out of from you holding on to transformation. So use it. That's just from us looking at a Spirit Bomb with not even all of our allies alive, with not even combo cards into the factor of this, not even looking at the other skills, but just use it. Please use your transformations earlier. Do not hold on to them. The last and final tip that I'll give today is that you cannot attack bosses if you or an ally is not inside of their arena. Despite it also not telling you anywhere in the game guide, that is the reason why they have the shield icon. Let's go ahead and swap in game for just a second. Okay, now that we are in game, you guys can go ahead and see that the bubble is around the boss or Android 16. And no matter what move we use, it doesn't matter how we use the move, you will always deal 0 damage to the boss if you or an ally is not in that boss arena. So the second you walk in though, you can start attacking the boss, of course, and the second you walk back out, that bubble will appear and you cannot attack him anymore. You could still get attacked by 16, you could still get damaged by 16. It doesn't matter, you're not in the arena, you will deal 0 damage. The good news though is you can use this to your advantage. If you're someone like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, for example, and let's say all of your enemies are right over here, and Goku uses Spirit Bomb and tries to attack the boss, right? Well, if you push them, guess what? That Kaioken part of the Spirit Bomb doesn't hit. The boss is still alive, and you can go ahead and try and secure it before the enemy team is able to, right? Like, there is a lot of different things you can try and do in order to work around this, but we'll go ahead and stop here. Let me know what you guys thought of this video down in the comments below. I know that this is something of a little bit of like a new style of content for me, but I wanted to try and just test it out. So I do hope that you guys did enjoy. Let me know if any of these tips helped you out though. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.